Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to talk about the Logitech G29.
While designs are very subjective, I think Logitech did a good job with this wheelbase. The package has a very premium look in general. The steering wheel measures 28 cm in diameter and is finished with a leather wrapping with soft stitching over an aluminium frame. The buttons are of good quality, and the 4 PlayStation specific buttons are printed with a clear glossy layer to prevent it from fading. The steering wheel also features a D-pad and rotary button. The latter is the only really negative point I have for the buttons. It is not as precise or stiff as I would like. The shifters on the other hand are again really nice to the touch and precise, with a very satisfying click to it when used. On the top you will find a LED ref counter, which is always a pleasure to see on steering wheels. The drive itself is contained in a thick plastic exterior casing shaped in the front of a car. It can be attached to a desk with the non-detachable claws on the front and with 2 bolts in the rear to a sim rig. The pedals are also quite stylish. They feature some metal pedal faces that are not adjustable and for my taste perhaps a bit too small. These can be attached with carpet biters, but also have the possibility to be attached to your rig with pre-threaded holes.
So the technology in the G29, you have 2.2 Nm of max torque, which it can generate. It is really the lowest of the segment that you can have for active force feedback. And well, the technology that generates this force feedback is gear driven. So you have the different gears that turn into each other and that move the steering wheel. That causes for a less smoother ride in general than the hybrid solutions, the belt driven solutions and the direct drive. So Logitech at this moment is still the only mainstream manufacturer that uses gear driven wheelbases.
The input on the pedals is measured with potentiometers, which is also somewhat of an obsolete technology compared to the newer pedals that feature Hall sensors and are more precise.
If you look at the build quality, I think this is the major selling point for the G29. There are a lot of users out there of this wheelbase, and well, it just they don't have a lot of issues with it in comparison with the other manufacturers. There are of course always issues with wheelbases, but for the G29, it's like the Mercedes that you see driving in the Sahara after 40 years. The G29 is the same thing. If you buy this, you have a very small chance of it malfunctioning.
Unfortunately, the weak point in this setup are the pedals, and those would suffer when used in the Sahara. The potentiometers in the pedals can over time get dusty or dirty, and this might cause for bad input readings. So if you are in a dusty surroundings, foresee some extra maintenance on them. This is a common point of attention for pedal bases equipped with potentiometers. The driving sensation with the Logitech G29 is a particularly hard thing to judge fairly when you have driven more heavy and sophisticated wheelbases. It's true that you don't really need a high performance wheelbase in ACC with the GT3 cars you are driving to simulate the strength on the wheel it generates, but where it does count is in the difference of force feedback you can feel. When you drive on the lower part of a curb, you should have a different kind of force feedback than when you drive over it completely with a tire. The G29 struggles with making you feel a difference between both because of its limited power. This is very noticeable when you compare it to wheelbases with a bit more power. The return to center is also not very smooth and relatively slow, and it is something which also stood out in comparison to other systems. When it comes to the pedals, I had difficulties with both the brake and accelerator. They felt really hard to dose correctly in the corners, especially for the brake. The stiffness of both the accelerator and brake were okay, but the brake also could use some more of a progressive feeling where it stiffens up more the further you push it in. In BeamNG, the return to center felt better, but still too sluggish to steer supple through the corners. I had the feeling that the power it generated was not bad, but still I would have preferred a bit more strength and variation in the force feedback. Another thing I remarked is the noise. I normally always play with a headset on, but this time I didn't, and the sound the wheelbase made when locking the wheels was really disturbing when driving. Last thing that I want to mention is the graininess in the steering wheel. It is a feature of gear-driven wheelbases, and after having tested so many other solutions, it really stood out. When you turned, you could feel the tiny notches when the steering wheel moved. While in the heat of the moment it might not bother you, it does when immersion is high on your list of requirements for a wheelbase. Again here, the pedals were okay, but with a complete lack of immersion when it came to braking.
When we look at the software, well, the software Logitech G Hub, it is very simple software. I think most people that start with sim driving will find it very handy to use. For people that are a bit more experienced, they will find that it lacks a bit of settings. So there's not much that you can set in the software to enhance or more personalize the driving sensation to your needs.
When it comes to an ecosystem, don't expect too much. You can't replace a steering wheel, other pedals are just not available, and the only add-on you have is a shifter.
So the compatibility of the G29 PlayStation and PC. You can use it on both platforms, and there is also the G920 edition, which is compatible with the Xbox platform.
This compatibility still gives Logitech an advantage towards other manufacturers, the likes of Moza, Camus, and others that are having issues getting their licensing approved. However, this is changing rapidly. Moza was able to get the necessary licensing for Xbox for a low-level wheelbase, and converters like Brooks Resolution are a workaround to make unlicensed hardware work with unsupporting platforms.
When we look at the price, you can buy this from Logitech webshop for €320 and from various retailers for around €240. This is regional in my region, €240, which makes it almost the least expensive wheelbase that you can buy. If you look at the second-hand market, there you can find it around €180. Between €150 and €180 is doable to find a G29 in good condition. The availability for the G29 is fantastic because Logitech has a real good logistics system, so you can get it almost in every part of the world. You can buy a Logitech G29 for a normal price.
And that is an absolute strong point for this base. In combination with the popularity of the brand, it is sold quite a lot. If a store has wheelbases to offer, you will most of the time find this one among them. This also means a very large availability on the second-hand market.
People out there still say that this is the best starter wheel for new sim drivers, and I will agree with them, but on a few conditions. The first of it, buy it second-hand. I mean, there is plenty out there. You can buy it for a very good price if you are patient and if you keep your eyes open. Can get it for a very good price. Also, like I said before, the quality of it is very, very good quality. It won't break on you easily. So also buying it, when you buy it second-hand, the chance that it is broken is much less than when you buy something of the competition. Another thing would be that it is a very complete set. I mean, the pedals are good quality. The steering wheel feels very nice in the hand. The shifters are good. So it is a very decent first step in sim driving or sim racing.
Something that also plays in the recommendation of this base to new drivers is the compatibility with the consoles. Consoles are a user-friendly, not over-expensive solution that most beginning drivers start out with, which makes it perfect as an all-rounder on the sim driving market. The other side of the medal is that the base was released in 2015. In a decade of evolution on this market, the gear-driven heart of this G29 has become hopelessly obsolete. The competition started bombing Logitech with belt-driven, hybrid and direct drive solutions, which were more smooth and more powerful. This is where the demise of the G29 as the undisputed #1 for beginner wheels started. So yes, when you first lay your hands on this wheelbase, you will be in awe. But as soon as you start to experience what else is out there, you will quickly find yourself wanting just a bit more than the Logitech G29 has to offer.
Thank you all for watching. I hope you had something from this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. I will do a versus video of this one against the Thrustmaster T128. I think it is what comes the closest to it. So if you want to see that one, please subscribe, and I will see you all next video. Bye bye.